at the Radiotron. 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 He's boxing at Radiotron. 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 At the Radiotron. 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 We did some art at the Radiotron.
When I hear about the word Radiotron, you know, what I hear is past, present, and future.
Ready? Are you ready? Say yeah.
Radiotron was the place to be in the 80s if you go to LA to find the best B-boys.
2 words, checkered floor. Why checkered floor? Because when we saw those videos, they always had the checkered floor. You just always associated the checkered floor with Radiotron. You wouldn't associate with anything else but Radiotron.
Radiotron in 1995 was my biggest eye-opener. I saw what everybody was doing around all of California, and people were doing it. I just didn't know that people were doing it on that scale.
I watched this tape, and it was amazing. You know, it was Freestyle versus X-Men. It was an amazing battle. I was like, dang, that's where power moves, the level they got to, you know? I was just a young B-boy coming up, and I seen this, and it motivated me to practice. It totally brought me back to being competitive and being sick and practicing the art and taking it to a high level.
The way that Radiotron came to be was from the neighborhood, from the kids, from the community.
For me, it means a lot because it was 5 blocks from my house. And as a little kid, being 12 years old and not having a place to go practice, I found Radiotron by a good accident. So then that was my place to go and practice. Not only that, but to meet B-boys that inspire me, as Air Force Crew and City Rockers. A lot of other, some unknown and some more known.
As I was growing up as a little kid, trying to go look for this phenomenon name, and I found it, and to me it felt like home.
I would watch them, and I just remember watching them and being inspired by like seeing Remind in there and Little Cesar do 2090s. I remember that image. But I think particularly, I think about those raw battles that I saw on the VHS tapes.
It was an adventure for a lot of us guys coming from San Jose and the Bay Area to see crews like Air Force Crew live. And to be around brothers that you saw in videos was like a pump up. It gave us a lot of energy. And we wanted to show everybody what we had as well.
Watching the VHS videos is definitely an event where you would definitely expect the best of the best to be there.
Well, welcome everybody to the Radiotron. That's right, Radiotron. After 24 years in the making, it's incredible to have a conversation with some incredible panelists here today that actually was battling, that really inspires so many of us throughout the world. So I want to introduce to you and just bring them on board, and want to introduce first and foremost on the Wheels of Steels, the day of Radiotron, July 21st, 1996. He was on the Wheels of Steels, also very well known worldwide. Let me bring on DJ Hazze from Air Force Crew. What's going on, Hazze?
Peace, peace. How's everybody doing?
It's awesome, bro. Great to see you, man. Great seeing you, man. Thank you for being here, being the panel, being part of this panelist. So we're gonna have an incredible conversation. All right.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Awesome. All right. Well, let me see. Let me bring 24 years ago, I asked this incredible old school b-boy, one of the originals from the West Coast, for world, right? Like worldwide. Basically, this is one of my great friends from LA Breakers, Fresh, b-boy Fresh. Welcome.
What's up,
Fresh,
everybody? How you doing? Having a good time?
Beautiful.
Getting involved with this. Radiotron is history.
Right, exactly. You were one of the judges, so I know I called you up and say, "Hey, Fresh, I need you to be one of the judges." You came through, and you were judging. We'll get into all this, but thank you for saying yes.
There's no way to say no.
Awesome.
It was,
all right.
Yeah, just to let you know, it was just during that time period. It was like being not just a judge, but just being able to witness these kids at that time period. It was just an honor.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for being one of the panelists into this conversation. Let me bring somebody who've made a huge difference, from the Bay Area, who's been putting it down for over 24 years. Let me introduce to you, I know that in the world of popping, when we hear popping, we hear the Bay Area, so let me introduce to you to Politix from the Renegades.
What's up, fellas? Glad to be here. Appreciate it, Cesar. Can't wait to get down and just talk a little bit about what went down and the history of this whole battle, and just maybe what it done for a lot of us individually.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, man. Definitely, we're gonna get into it, and so thank you.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Okay, well, let me bring someone that also who's made an impact as well throughout the world. Man, this guy met him when he was like 15 or 16, real hungry, and man, he's traveled over the world now, better known as B-Boy Wicket from the Renegades. Wicket, you there?
Yes, sir. What's up? What's good, C's?
Well, look what you created, Wicket. I know that you and we talked not too long ago, and we were doing an interview, and you said, "Hey, how about we do what, Wicket?"
You told me, hey, you know what the anniversary is, right, for this month? And I was like, nope. So luckily you brought that up, and the Radiotron anniversary between Style Elements and Renegades, it just happened to be this month, and I was glad that I interviewed you on my IG Live, and you brought it up, so here we are.
Making it happen, man. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for really also making it happen, and just being there and communicating with the rest of the fellas, man. And it takes two, right?
No doubt. I got you, bro.
Thank you, Wicked. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Let me continue by bringing the I want to bring these guys are, it's incredible, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's incredible to talk to you now. You guys were all men now, grown up, and but let me bring on Jayrawk. Now, Jayrawk has done it incredible together. I know, from routines to having your own style, just to bring in your flavor, man. The way you guys were actually busting, and training and just bringing it, man. Let me introduce to you to Jayrawk from Style Elements.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me. And yeah, that battle was very special to me, and I didn't even know the anniversary was this month. So thank you guys for putting this together. So like I said, I should know that because it was a very important day in all of our lives. And like I said, I'm just happy to be here and just recollect on a great day.
Awesome, beautiful. Thank you, man. Thank you, Jayrawk. And I'm glad that you're here, because we're gonna get into this conversation that I think a lot of people's been waiting. This is the first time really getting together, and really seeing all of you guys. So really just to get your perspective, the impact that that this event and also this battle have has done in your lives and then throughout the world. So thank you.
No, for sure.
All right, well, let me bring our last guest, the one and only, right? The one and only. I mean, this guy as well, when I first saw him, I think he was like 13, 14 years old. And I just knew there was something unique about this guy. He just had a different style, a whole completely different style, very, very unique. He brought so much to the table that so many b-boys throughout the world is actually he inspired, So with further ado, let me introduce to you B-Boy Crumbs from Style Elements crew. Crumbs.
Yo, my man, Cesar, bro. Much love, much respect. It's just so nice to be, here with all my old school homies. Happy anniversary to everybody. You know what I'm saying? We all still here doing it, healthy, fresh, still doing it. But check it, Cesar. From every main event that we've done, Style Elements, I always like to keep like a piece of memorabilia, right? And I got something from that Radiotron. And it's not the trophy because we haven't seen that since the day we won it, but that's another story for another day. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about that.
What?
But what I do have is this piece of paper right here from 1996. It's the schedule of events. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So pretty dope, man. It has like the time that we battled on there and everything. So I don't know who else got that, but it's right here.
Wow,
you did it. This is the original. This ain't a copy or nothing. This is the original piece of paper. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Wow. Okay. Oh man, you just got me hype. That's awesome, Crumbs. Well, thank you, man.
That could be worth some money.
Yeah, man. I definitely. Oh man, that's such dope. That was so dope that you showed us that. Hey, Crumbs, does it say who were the judges?
Nope, doesn't have the judges on here.
No, you want to give me a really quick, just less than 30 seconds. You want to say what that whole schedule?
Yeah, it's a schedule for Radiotron, July 21st, 96. Show starts at 3 p.m. MC battle, Clear Black versus Project Blow. Routine battle between the Renegades and Style Elements. We went on from 345 to 355. Renegades went on from 355 to 345. That was our showcases, right? Not the actual battle. Then there was a pop-in battle, Clear Black versus Flat Top. And then it went into our battle, Renegades versus Style Elements, which started at 4 o'clock and ended at 5.
I don't think it started at 4, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. There you go, man. That's it. We're done.
It did not end at 5.
Not started.
That bad boy moved.
Well, hey, listen, welcome everybody, man. I'm glad that, thank you, Wicket, for really being a partner in this and making this happen as well. And so, it's an honor to actually have all of you guys, here with me again, and we can have a conversation about the past, and how Radiotron impact your lives, how was it for you? What was the experience before, when you doing your preparation, while you got to the Radiotron, during the battle, and and then what was the impact really? Let's get into this conversation. And does anybody want to say anything? Does anybody want to say anything up right now? Hayes. So let me start with you. Let me start with you. Can you take us? Because look, back in the early 90s, as you guys all know, and I would like to hear from either, from Elements or the Renegades, to even say something about it, because you guys were in your teens. You guys were 15, 16, 17 at that time. We were a little older than you guys, right? But I want you to set us off, Hayes, because you've been a DJ for such a long time, and you're also an MC. And so back then, because I know from 1993, from 91, 92, there was really no b-boying as much. Really, b-boying, the aspect of that element was really in the background. Rap was in the forefront, right? DJing was in the forefront as well, graffiti. But as a DJ and playing that type of music, which is the golden era, right? can you give us a list or just a few songs that was playing? Because there was no breakbeats at that time. Music have shifted. So, and as you know, when music shifts, also the dance shifts. So there was really no b-boy music that we can dance to. So can you give us kind of like a sense of where we were at, what was happening in 1993 to like about 96 music wise?
Yeah, 93, 96. You had a lot of the party music that we would get down to. For instance, like a Planet Rock or Play at Your Own Risk. Records like this were still hitting, which were records that we also used to break to in our day, you know. And however, like I knew that I had to mix it up with some popular West Coast tracks, some popular more East Coast tracks. And my thing was, if I remember correctly, I think the Style Elements came to my house that morning. Boom, 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 knocking on the door like, yo, what's up? Bring the linoleum up. Like, I'm like, what is going on? You guys are battling today. You guys can't be warming up like that. So I had to make sure that I played music that I knew that they didn't know that I was gonna play. I had to mix it up so that nobody has any idea of what I'm gonna play. I remember playing this James Brown remix that had a few of the different songs mixed together. I was like, ooh, that's gonna be kind of tight because nobody will see what's coming. And then I also remember hitting them in the head with the Mexican, because I'm like, no one really plays the full songs of these records, and the full song kind of gives you more like a little party version. So I kind of was trying to keep like a little party atmosphere going at the same time, like this raw b-boy energy. I had to kind of change it up just a little bit, you know.
Got you. Yeah, because music was a big deal, right? Because we couldn't dance to the music of when, you know, that were actually playing in the early 90s, correct?
I mean, there were DJs who were playing that stuff. However, that music really wasn't so popular, I think, around our way. You know, we had more like the electro funk, you know, electro funk type beats like Jam On It and Planet Rock, Play at Your Own Risk, Cheap Thrills. You know, we had like tracks like that poppers would get off to, but consequently breakers, b-boys would get down to as well.
Gotcha.
So I just tried to mix it up, you know. I just tried to surprise the dancers with, you know, stuff that they wouldn't expect, that they haven't really heard in other battles like that.
Okay. So how come you were not playing the music of the 90s? The early 90s?
Well, I tried to mix some up. I think some other DJs were playing too, if I'm not mistaken. Cut Chemist was playing. And I think he was actually supposed to play the battle, but something happened with his set where everybody was like, hey, hop on real quick. So I hopped on and just did my thing, you know.
Right. Also, Jayrawk was DJing.
I mean, you just try to keep it as raw b-boy as possible, with, you know, with the exception of, like, you know, a couple of electro funk tracks, you know.
Got you. Understood. I know that Jayrawk was DJing, Cut Chemist, DJ Raw Femme, I believe, is also DJing, and Rip One was DJing too. You remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, man. So thank you, Hazze. You know, just puts us in a frame of, like, because music always dictates where the dance is gonna go. So since b-boy was not in the forefront, and it was so important to actually play those type of music to the new generation, right?
Oh yeah. And I had to play in a way where I bring the crowd up, you know, in energy, like, you know, slowly and then fire, you know, like exactly how the battle went, you know. The
Yeah,
battle
now,
was amazing. I love that
now,
battle.
absolutely. Now, Hayes, a lot of people don't know that you're also a part of the movement, right? There was a crew called Part of the Movement where you created this thing, and I would love for you to do it right before the battle starts because it's been sampled so many times. It's been playing in the Lakers, you know, when the Lakers open up right at the beginning of the game. Daddy Yankee as well sampled that, and so many other people have sampled when you actually do this opening thing, right? Do you kind of want to give us a kind of like a little bit of what am I talking about?
Oh, you talking about, are you ready?
That's what I'm talking about. So for many of you that don't know, here is DJ Hayes, one of the original guys who actually did this for the very, very first time. So Hayes, thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of this panelist. I'm gonna go move on to the judge, to my man, my friend, you know, Bboy Fresh. Fresh, are you there?
Cesar.
Awesome. Okay, great. Fresh, I want
Cesar,
to
how
talk.
are you?
I'm good, man. I'm excited to have all of you guys, man. This is like history in the making, just for us to even talk about this legendary battle, you know, that just happened at the Radiotron. So I know that at that time, Fresh, we've together have gone to the Bay Area. I believe it was 1991, 92. I know there was a group of people back then. It was just a handful of people, right? Just a handful of people that were b-boying at that time. So there wasn't really no events happening at this time. Can you give us, can we talk a little bit about that? What was LA Breakers doing and who was breaking at that time with you? And basically what was going on in 1994, 95, 96, you know, when lead you to the Radiotron?
So you're speaking prior to the Radiotron for LA Breakers?
That is correct.
Oh man, we were still performing. We were still, but it was Freeze who was the host. We did an outstanding job at Radiotron, and too bad he couldn't be here today. But we were, you know, there was a show In Living Color that was going on at the time. We were doing a lot of work with that. We were doing a clothing line. We had a clothing line that was called Funky Circle and Crime Wave, and we were selling that overseas in Japan. And so we were kind of piggybacking off of that and going, you know, down to San Diego and enjoying wonderful San Diego. And you had something called the ASR Expo back then, and
which was
so we were still doing all of that stuff. A lot of the clothing lines were jumping off. You had later on, it would be I think it was Fat Cap. You had Third Rail had some sick stuff, and so it was just a lot of movement, a lot of hip hop movement. A lot of people were breaking, you know, here on the West Coast, but we didn't really hear about a lot of people doing anything anywhere else. But you know, honestly, to be quite honest, my main concern is this battle, this legendary battle, because everybody on here right now, in my eyes, is a legend. You know, it's just extraordinary people. When they went down, and they would dance. At that time period, the excitement for Freeze, myself, and probably you too, you know, was just such a powerful thing, because you know, we lived it. I started breaking. Well, I started dancing in 1978. So you got to think about it, you know. And then it was just locking, you know. And I would go to school with like looking like a little locker, you know what I mean. And then I got into popping, and And then this breaking thing came on my block. This dude from New York moved on my block, and I was just like, so that whole experience, and then to see these guys when you presented this opportunity for kids to get out and compete again. So, we wanted to be a part of that, and I'm really grateful that you reached out, kind of paying homage, because I remember you when you were at the radio before it was the Radiotron, and we'd be like, this dude's trying to get in a circle, hold up. And then you'd squeeze in and kill it. So that's that shit, and so flash forwarding to this moment in time where these guys came out, we knew of Style Elements, we knew of Renegades, and we also knew of this, at the time we called him a mercenary named Bboy Ivan, and he lived up to that. But I think that the characters that played a part in this in this battle, in this movie, so to speak, was so powerful. Each individual had their own character. Each individual was very strong-minded, strong-willed, and that's why the battle was so powerful.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. Now, I don't know if you remember, you being one of the judges, right? I don't know if you remember, but I gave you guys 5 categories, and I gave you the point system was from 1 to 5, 5 being the best.
Exactly.
And as you were judging throughout the battle, there was such a just energy of these 2 B-boy crews that really wanted to go against each other, because you always want to thrive to be the best, and then really show that you're the best. But as being there at that moment as a judge, what was your experience? And I know you said that it brought you back to your teenage years, but there at that moment, because here we go again, this is second time around, this is another new decade. What was that experience like, just being there at that moment? Because we were upstairs, you were looking down.
Right.
What was that like? What was that energy?
Oh man, just witnessing. Well, the funny thing, there was this one guy that I had been working with in training named Sean. At the time they called him Sean Supreme. And his big thing was, there's this dude who made fun of him all the time. He talked smack about Sean, and I would get off work and go over to Sean's house and work with him on stuff, specifically halos, and just kind of build his mentality, because this dude was picking on him. So the dude who was picking on him's name, he goes by the name Jayrawk, Jason. And Jayrawk would make fun of Sean's shoes. You're not a real B-boy, you're not this. I was like, dude, don't worry about that. And he was like, I'm gonna battle him at the Radiotron. So I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, so let's get ready for that. And so from the top, I saw Sean go after Jayrawk, and just to be able to look down and see all the interaction of the kids and all the different, the poppers and people really smiling and enjoying themselves, and the fellowship. It was just a really powerful day. From the beginning, even from waking up to getting there, before the doors open, just the whole thing, just really. It was just really an amazing moment in time, and that's the type of stuff you want to bottle up and open up and get a little bit, and then put the top back on, like a good piece, like a good scotch.
So you got some doses of that energy that was going on.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Freshman, I just wanted to hear a little bit your perspective, as a judge, so it's really also, great. I don't think a lot of the members here, from Style Elements or Renegades, I don't even know if they knew that you were one of the judges for that battle.
Well, first of all, whenever somebody, there's 2 things that I want to say. You had mentioned that about B-boying not being around a certain time. Well, for me, in my mind's eye, I see B-boying as something that's new, B-boying is a competition, it's a sport. This was breaking because this was two people. This is just my perspective. Don't want to argue about it. But this was two groups of young people with creative minds doing the best that they could with what they practiced, and they were breaking. They were not b-boying. They was going at it. You know, when you go at it like that, to me, it's breaking. There's no sport to it. It's like a fight. You feel me? And so that's one. Two, as far as being a judge, I'm never a judge. Somebody calls me to be a judge, I'll take that title, just like the title B-boy. I'm not a B-boy, unless I'm a break boy. I'm not a Bronx boy. But the point is, I'm not a judge. I'm just a witness, and I'm witnessing what's going on, and I document it. And once I document it, I look, and I give it. That's the only way I can be fair. Because if you're judging, other things can kind of come in, and it's more of a selfish way of interpreting what's going on. But if you're a witness, the facts are right there. So you can't, you see what I'm saying?
Got you.
And so with this battle specifically, what I knew even at the beginning, at the onset, was that one of the groups, well, first of all, both groups were dope. I knew that. Secondly, I knew that there was a lot of pressure put on me, because there was this thing going on, style versus power, you know, and I saw it as a divide in the culture, and it upset me, because I was always saying, basically, there's style and power and style. If you're doing it, it's, you know, anybody could pull that off. So I'm like, what's the problem? Why can't we just break? As soon as I did that, I started getting, that was the onset of me becoming kind of oppressed, or kind of pushed away, because I had a different mentality. So I was thinking, damn, this one crew has more power. This one crew is freaking called Style Elements. So obviously they got style, right? So thinking,
absolutely.
But I was seeing a lot of, so I had to be sure that it was fair, you know, through my eyes. And so that was the pressure there, because I knew that one group was going to be considered the winner when both were actually winners, because everybody's legends, right?
Right.
So.
That's really interesting. You're saying all that, Fresh. Really, really interesting. Seeing it from a different perspective, you know, and from the judge perspective, and trying to just do what's right, you know what I mean, and just give justice what justice needs to be. So, but yeah, man, thank you, man. Thank you so much for being a part of these panelists. I'm gonna move on to you know, to the next panelists, you know, and getting ready to talk a little bit about the cruise, you know. So politics. Let's talk a little bit. I want to hear from your perspective, you know, as a popper being inside the battle. What was the impact that Radiotron had on you, first and foremost, coming from the Bay Area, training up to this battle? Because you guys are you guys were the champions of Radiotron, right? You guys, like, Style Elements were coming at you like a vet with a vengeance. They wanted to take the trophy away from you, because you guys already beat freestyle. So you guys are the champs. Everybody wanted to be Renegades. Everybody wanted to be like where you were at. I mean, to get to where the Renegades were, first and foremost, what was that like for you guys?
I think for us as a group, I mean, first of all, you know, we were all friends, but we were all teenagers at the time. But we were very.
Right. How old again?
I think out of us, I was one of the older ones besides like Bboy. But I would say I was probably maybe 17, 18. And then Wicket, I think it was a year or two younger than me. And Jazzy J was, I think, around the same age as him. So for us up here in San Francisco, I mean, we trained together every day. It was pretty much, I would say, me, Wicket, and Jazzy J used to practice together all the time. But for this battle that coming up, I mean, we had seen, you know, Style Elements around at different events up here in the Bay Area. And a lot of people don't know this either. There was a battle before this battle at Radiotron, and it was held in San Jose. Probably Donnie and Jayrawk remember. I don't remember exactly what hall. But for us, being so young at that time and so hungry, we trained just hard. And then, you know, being at these Radiotrons, it was something new for us, even though we did it before. But the energy there, we knew how that felt. We knew what we had to do. We knew who we were going up against, and we just really wanted to, you know, show out, you know, and really just try our hardest to take this battle.
What would that mean to you guys?
It meant a lot to us, because us coming, you know, from the Bay Area going down to LA, it was a different scene for us. When we were even younger, like even just starting out, we just saw what was in front of us. We didn't really have a lot of VHS tapes to go and buy or anything at that time. So we were creative in our own ways, and we, you know, helped each other be creative and do different things. So we didn't have a lot of footage or anything like that. Like, I know a memory for me, you don't even know, I mean, it was probably around the beginning when I first started dancing, is going to World War III and seeing you, Robbie, and Willpower. You guys came up there and you guys performed. And seeing that live, I had never seen anything like that before in my life. And I'm a popper. I mean, I know how to break a little bit, but seeing that blew everybody's minds here in the Bay Area for sure.
That's so awesome, man. That is so awesome. That's so awesome. It's really, yeah, that was a very special moment in time. And, you know, we're going to get into this battle, you know, Politix. And so you can really just experience, you know, that special moment in time, right? That was captured. That this is such a legendary battle that impacted the world, I would say, you know. So, but, you know, let me get another opinion from from Wicket. Wicket, you there, Wicket?
I'm here, sir.
All right, Wicket. Now I know, like Politix said, you guys train hard, right? You guys are basically the defending champs, right? You didn't want that trophy to go nowhere, right? So it was really, you guys trained. Tell me a little bit of the experience when you were in the cipher, right? In the circle, battling, in this particular battle. You know, who did you want to? I know that, you know, usually we have people that we want to go against in particularly, but who was that guy from Style Elements that you wanted to take on, and what was it like for you?
First I want to say the energy in that cipher was just nothing that I've ever seen or felt before, because going to LA was always different. It was always different. The vibe was it just felt more raw, and the history, we just felt the history there, you know, with Air Force Crew and Radiotron, and plus, you know, with Fresh, you know, we saw you and Fresh at the this raffles party, the Zulu Nation party in San Francisco. So we would watch you guys every day on video, you know, and so we just wanted to make sure we did our best in front of you guys all the time. And I mean, the vibe was just, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it, you know. And but yeah, if there was one person that I was after, it had to be Ivan. I mean, this guy just had everything, you know. He was a pack of fireworks, you know. He could flip, he had attitude, he can dance, he had character. The simplest thing he did was, you know, can make the crowd explode, you know. So I just had to make sure that every time he did that, I had to go out and try to just diffuse it. Otherwise, we would have been done, you know.
You're absolutely right, man. And we'll get into the battle, and we get to comment, say a little bit about, you know, about what's going on. But I mean, yeah, I mean, seeing you at the age of 16, coming from the Bay Area, it seems like you guys were ready for this battle, you know, and you're not gonna let no one take your trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was at the point in my life where I had it all figured out. Like, I didn't need to go to school, even though I was still a junior in high school. I mean, my high school.
So you were 16, right? You were 16?
I was 15 to 16, something like that. And my high school is on the way to Paul's house, and I could walk to my high school from my house. So I would walk right past the high school and go straight to Paul's house and practice all day with Jazzy. So we would cut school every day and practice all day.
Listen, Wicket, can you tell us? Can you give us the name of all the crew members from the Renegades? Can you name all of them?
I mean, you mean at the event or currently, or
just
currently?
in the battle? In the battle? No, in the battle.
Yeah.
The crew members that were battling.
Paul, you're gonna have to help me. I think so. We had Jazzy J, we had Victor, which is Styles, Bboy. We had Sway. I think Jeff was there, Paul. I can't remember if Jeff was there.
I think they might have been there. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, Little Daryl was there. Rainier was there.
Yeah. But they didn't battle. They did the showcase part.
Who was the freestyler? Who was that? Who was the dude with the freestyling? That was Daryl? That was
Bboy. Yeah.
Bboy. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, and then you in Politix.
Yeah, I mean, I have memory issues right now.
Okay, maybe when we play the battle in a few seconds, we'll all that memory will come back. But okay, all right, Wicket. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for that. Let me move on so we can really watch this battle. Let me move on to Jayrawk. Jayrawk,
hello,
you there,
sir.
Jayrawk?
What's up? I've been waiting for you. What's up?
You've been waiting. Okay. Well, Jayrawk, I know that you guys, you and Crumbs did something very, very special, right? There was a special routine that you guys did in the battle. All the crowd goes crazy, right? So, I wanted just to kind of like talk a little bit about that. Tell me a little bit also your experience for that particular battle, and let's talk a little bit real quick about that special routine battle, because actually that routine set it off for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the B-boys. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so let's talk about the routine first, and then we'll get back to the other stuff. So that routine is kind of inspired by we saw Flo and Kenny at Bboy Summit, and we saw their their symmetry, the way they connected, the way they just everything looked. It was just dope. So we try to come up with our own little thing, but with our own flavor. Donnie has his handstands and upside down stuff and threads and all that. So it was kind of Donnie's idea to kind of let's try to create something to counter, because we know Wicket and Jazzy are gonna, they're gonna blow it up. The power is insane, right? They've been beating me since I was, I don't even know how many years, Wick. we would always lose to them in the base. So it's kind of like it's like we gotta come up with something to retaliate, like a response. So it was a lot of work to get that routine right, but the energy, it was perfect timing because you could feel the energy at that event was crazy. And I think Wicket did something crazy, and we're like, Donnie just tapped me on the shoulder like, yo, you ready? This is it. Like, yo, this is it. Like, so much training, didn't even have to think about it. It was like, we're ready to rock, because Donnie would make us repeat it over and over and over. Like, work ethic. It was like, yo, D, I got it, don't trip. Let's do it again. I was like, okay, So the work ethic paid off, because once it was ready to rock, it was easy. It was easy, man. And after that response from the crowd, it was like Wicket said, goosebumps. Still getting talking about it right now. So what was your other question?
Yeah, just the experience of just being there at the battle. What was your experience just like walking into the Radiotron, being in the battle? Because remember, right? So you're walking into a space where it's crowded, it's hot. The crowd are really engaging into you, into the type of moves that you guys were actually doing, right?
Yeah.
It was just the music was going off. So what was it like for you coming from? Because you guys are from Modesto, right?
He's from Modesto. I'm from San Jose.
San Jose, okay.
Yeah. So it was kind of like walking into like the mecca of hip hop. I don't know. It was just like we grew up watching you guys, all the videotapes and stuff. Same with Wick, you know, World War III. So seeing you guys perform at Napperdack Hall and just trying to just be inspired off you guys, Air Force, and everybody trying to get to another level. We're trying to get our own level, right? Create our own identity. So walking in there, well, first of all, it's hot.
Very hot.
It was one of the hottest days, events ever. I'll never forget the fans, those big industrial fans. So besides that, just nervous, just pretty much nervous and anxious all day long, like all day, you know, just waiting and waiting, like your mind is running. Just the anticipation of all the hard work is coming down to this one day. And you know, against a legendary crew that, you know, you're just trying to be equal with them or just beat them, because, you know, you want that respect too, you know.
Right. Yeah. You're striving for that.
It was definitely, you know, one for the books. And, you know, I you know, back to that routine, you know, people love that routine and still talk to us to this day about that routine.
Yeah, I think that routine definitely did inspire so many people, you know, because now from there on, you're starting seeing a lot more people do different type of routines or similar to it. You know, yeah, because it was the beginning of something of your creativity, you and Crumbs.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. So we're glad everybody enjoyed it. You know, now people are doing the, you know, 10 times crazier than what that was.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna watch that routine so people can really see what we're talking about here, you know. And so let me talk to Crumbs for a little bit here. Crumbs, so here you are, Crumbs, at the age of what, 15 as well, 16. You know, here you know that you're going against the champs, the Renegades. They got the trophy, man. They, you know, you guys know that they're it, basically. What were you guys doing different in the preparation of it, of, you know, coming for that battle?
Okay, yeah. So I was like I was the youngest in the crew, so I was probably around 14 around that battle. Jayrawk is like a couple years older than me. Remind everybody, I was always the youngest, so maybe 14, 15. But yeah, for preparation, man, I mean, I'll have to piggyback off something that Fresh was talking about that was going on at this time, which is the style versus power situation. You know, for us, we canceled out that noise. You know, I can't speak for other crews, but I could speak for Style Elements. That was all just noise to us. We pushed that to the side. So while all these other crews were beefing on who got better style, who got better power, what's better, style or power, we embraced both. And not only that, we focused on originality, on bringing new styles, new techniques, flows, flavors to the table with all of that mixed in. So we focused on being well-rounded is what I'm trying to say. That was our mentality, and just being unique, you know, trying to do things that we haven't seen done before, and making sure that everybody has their own unique style and flavor. So no member of the crew looks the same. Because at that time, a lot of crews, their members kind of broke the same way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they kind of had the same style. Whether they'd all be like super dope, but they kind of all did the same type of stuff. You know, we wanted to make sure that we didn't all look the same, and we brought something different to the table, kind of like a Voltron, right? Leg, arm, body, head. Right. And that's how we formed in every battle. So that was the mentality leading up to the Renegades battle. You know, that Renegades and Style Elements rivalry was a special one, because we pushed each other to like crazy limits, right? Before we even battled them, they were winning everything. You know, we were watching them and watching Air Force and you know, like for instance, we watch you do your elbow 90s and your head spin drills like like crazy blurs. It's like, I'm never going to be able to do that. I understood that. So why am I going to try to, you know, do what you're doing and try to match you when I can't? So I'm just going to do my own thing. It was the same thing with watching the Renegades. We got inspired by their energy and by how dope they were, but we didn't want to try to break like them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made the battle so dope, in my opinion. It's two different energies clashing, right? Instead of everybody trying to be the same and trying to be better at what they do, you know? So that's my opinion on that battle. And that was our preparation going into it, for sure.
Wow. Well, let's take a look. Well, let's take a look at the battle. We'll play the video, and we can comment. We'll probably stop it at some point to maybe ask you a question on how you were feeling about that. I think this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for, to just kind of reminisce, to this amazing legendary battle that, here's two, like you said, Crumbs, two different crews that are just hungry to be the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? So let's just take a look at the battle. Here we go, guys. The Renegades versus 6. This will be Sunday, July 21st, 96.
Nice hug. Nice hug.
Clap it up, guys. Clap it up.
Never liked them.
Let's go.
Caesar, who's the host?
The host is actually David Guzman. David Guzman is actually one of the original co-founders of Radiotron back in the 80s. Here he comes, Crumbs. On the Run. I remember that song.
This was the kind of the start of like stacking,
stacking, exactly.
Now looking back, it's
this one out of Sway.
Where it got now, the origin.
Yeah, that's Sway.
It's funny how they counted Sway after Donnie. Interesting.
He just went out.
Okay, that makes sense.
No plan.
Perfect.
The floor is already slippery.
Right.
Didn't we stop the battle like 3 times?
Mm-hmm. Lots of times.
A lot of paper towels were used in that battle.
And fans.
Yes.
I mean, we're coming down and wiping the floor.
Yeah, this is.
But it worked out.
There you go. You hear better. Yeah,
there you go.
Nice. Okay, so he can. Wicket, you wanna say who's on the floor?
So this is Jazzy, the one and only. Crazy power.
Yo, Jazzy's styles. Yo, his flavor was getting dope right before he quit.
Yeah, man.
He was putting it all together, man. It's something crazy, something dangerous.
Okay, here comes Poe.
Look at this dude with the hat.
I know, he had the old man.
Yeah, he was old back then.
I felt like he was old. Yeah, he was older.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Okay, we lost the audio. We lost the audio again.
That's style.
Yeah, big styles.
Now, who is this? Victor?
This is Victor, one of the OG Renegades. Taught us a lot. Learned a lot from him.
He was dope.
He's so clean.
I think out of everyone in Renegades, he had the most style besides Sway.
That's why I named Style.
Style?
Is that you, Jay?
Yeah, that's me.
Jay Reezy.
I actually pulled off the jump rope. Look at that.
Oh.
I can't do that jump rope anymore.
Look, Sway stole my round.
Yeah.
Oh, Ricky wanted some?
So, just for everybody to know, right now, I remember at this point, Style Elements was up.
About right to me.
Okay, so here's Remind.
This battle.
Dead fish.
No, that was a crash.
No, that was a dead fish.
Yo, Wick was coming out hard.
No, Wicket looks like he's about to get serious. Wow, look at that.
This is where it's going to start evening out.
That's
the only thing. Damn. But it was too short. Wicket, that was too short.
Here comes Ivan, right?
So Ivan matched right there with the freeze, and then came up with a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just the energy. It's just the energy, you know, of Ivan. I mean, such a
came back out though.
Wicket came back on the bike.
Nice, Wick. Way to come back out.
This was a hot potato.
Nasty.
All right, here comes Crumbs.
You can't tell me this kid was 14.
Nah, he was like 16.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. This is 1996. I was born in 76. So
He's 21 right there.
you're about 16. 17.
In the mind, though. In the mind. He was battle like a veteran.
The Remind was trying to get in his head right there.
Yeah. Remind was trying to get in everybody's head. That
Yeah,
day.
he was.
Like Sway, that's already 3 times. He just didn't care. He wanted to go.
Yeah, Sway was getting his.
Super Dave, right?
Oh, Super Dave killed it in this round. This was dope.
Super Dave killed it.
This was dope. Got up.
Floor was wet. Jazzy.
And Jazzy just said, take that.
No, his flexibility with his power was like incredible.
He just didn't finish right here.
Even with them coffins.
The Western don't care. He's like, I don't care if it's slipping. I don't care. I'll go.
His energy, it's always been that way, but I think Remind's energy has always been crazy.
I don't care.
Look at Wicket.
Look at Wicket. Look at Wicket. He's like,
I'm like, get out my way, bro.
Get out. Woo! Look at that. Oh man, look at that dynamic.
that was
Look at
great.
that speed.
Oh, sorry, Ivan. I didn't mean to kick your helmet.
So like you said, you really wanted to take on Ivan.
I remember this moment. I didn't even. Oh wow.
This was the energy right here.
Yeah, he's about to hit that head spin.
He had messed that one up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go
He went
again.
back.
And hit it. Yeah, man. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. It just crowd went crazy here.
You know, even just to feel that is crazy.
Yeah.
Too short.
Hey, can everybody hear me right? Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait till we stop. Look at this dude. Look at him. What's wrong with him?
That's what I always been calling the broken breaking.
The broken breaking.
What's wrong with that kid?
Yeah, man. Like Crumbs said, you know, I mean, this is a unique style. Really, totally different. It's just that's what this.
I love a wristing right there.
Look, I'm slipping all over Crumbs' sweat.
Yeah, I thought that was a move.
Yo, Wick, you jumped to a windmill from your knees. Technically.
Now let's stop it here for a minute. Let's just
Right on that chick.
Yeah.
Back to the
I think
girl.
I think we all always wondered who that was.
Yeah. I think Donnie knows her.
Is that your girlfriend, Donnie? So let's talk over here. Let's talk at this moment because you know I know that when you guys are traveling, you guys are judging, you guys are performing. I know people remember this battle and they remember this tape. You know what I'm saying? And I know that you probably have questions. They probably have questions or not. But let's talk a little bit about the floor, right? The floor, first and foremost, it was in the summer, correct? Summer, around this time. It was hot. I mean, there was air conditioning, but there were so many people in there. The energy was crazy. The floor, what was that experience like, Wicket, regarding the floor? Because you was slipping and sliding. It looks like you doing the backslide, man.
Floor was sweating.
Backslide into windmills, easy.
Yeah.
I mean, the floor was honestly earlier in the day. It was like my favorite. I had grip. You could spin on it. It wasn't sticky, but as soon as the battle started, all of a sudden it just turned into water. So I'm just like, I'm panicking in my head, like, oh my gosh, how are we gonna do this? You know, how am I gonna perform? How am I gonna battle like this? So you just have to find a way, you know.
Gotta adapt.
And adapt, yeah, because you know a lot of the audience they don't really know how the important is to actually have a grip on your shoe, because depending on that grip, how is going to determine how your set is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So for you guys, there was a kind of a disadvantage for you guys because that was missing. And yeah, like you said, the floor was full of water. We brought in some heavy duty fans. The floor was completely, I have pictures where the floor is completely wet as well. I mean, completely white, you know, because of all the tissues. Now, how was it for you guys, you know, Star Elements? How was it for you? What was the floor like for you guys?
At the beginning, it was okay. You know, it around this point right here is when it was just a slipping and sliding, you know, but like I said, you just have to adapt, right? So if you're gonna like me personally, I realized that like, okay, if I'm trying to like go hard, like with all my energy, I'm gonna slip and mess up. You know what I'm saying? So I have to look like I'm giving all my energy without giving it, so I don't mess up and I still keep my control. You know what I'm saying? So that's the mode that I went into. There's actually advantages and disadvantages on both sides. Like I feel like on the Renegade side, for it being slippery, the advantage was that their speed with their power that can help them go faster. You know what I'm saying? But then they lose control, like if they want to stop in a freeze or go into something else, right? So that's like the disadvantage. For us, you know, the advantage was that we can slide, like do crazy slides or, you know, stuff like, you know, just creative stuff on the floor, slipping around like with that kind of style. And the disadvantage was obviously keeping control as well. So, you know, we both had a hard time with it, but I think we adapted to the best that we could in that moment. You know, everybody did a good job with it.
I just want to say the cool thing about, you know, the whole crowd wanted to see the battle so bad, they were all helping out, wiping the floor. Like the whole event, like, yo, let's continue this. This is so dope. Stop, everybody clean the whole event. So I thought that was kind of dope.
And also what I think like happened, because like I said, at the beginning of the battle, it wasn't like wet like that. There's something to be said about the intensity in that room when the battle popped off, even with just the people doing nothing around, they started making the floor sweat. Like just the energy in the room just built up to high degrees, and it just made the floor like that. It's a trip.
Nah, I think it was all Ivan's sweat. It was all his sweat.
It could be that too.
It could have been.
Does anybody?
I wanted to say something real quick. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
I just wanted to say I had even for me being the popper, and when I had my chance to battle against Tommy Boy, we didn't get to go at it very long, but when we did, like there's a part in the video where I almost ate it really bad. Like if I would have fell, I would have hit the back of my head. That's how wet it was. And that was me standing up. So imagine all these guys, you know what I mean, trying to do power, style, and everything. It was crazy. So I'm very lucky I didn't hurt myself.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, well, let's continue with the video. Let's do let's go ahead and continue watching it. I think we only have a few more minutes left. Well, here comes Crumbs.
Ponytail?
And Donnie's always going to be remembered for the ponytail.
That was an advantage.
And this is Blue Boy.
Crazy energy.
Nice.
You know, at that time, I just remember he was one of the first people I ever seen do one-handed things, power combination. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, this is when it started getting out of control.
Yeah.
Good one.
Wow, look at that. Doing that.
And we could hit that nice.
I think that was it. We saw Wicket do that. Like, yo,
okay. This is the fitness routine.
And I think that was really smart on their behalf to do that at that timing. Like that's
just good timing for sure.
Yep. Yeah. Perfect.
And also, aside from Flowmaster and Ken, we ain't never seen no one else do a doubles routine like this before in that era.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to be talked about too, Rick.
Wow, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. They just love you guys, man.
Great moment.
Yeah. Well, he comes Politix.
Paul was like, you know what, guys? Let's stop breaking for a minute. We got to chill. Let's
and it's right here. Well, I almost hit.
I think I see it, Paul. You're talking about.
Oh,
right there.
Oh, that was
right
me.
Yeah.
Hey, that was actually dope, though.
It was pretty dope.
I use that as a foundation now.
He ticked into a bridge, man. That's crazy.
Wow, look at that. It's like,
ooh.
That was
and
sick.
The story behind me and Tommy, like we kind of grew up battling each other, so we were already rivals like from before. We did plenty of battles against each other. And on top of this, him using the cane against me in this battle, I didn't expect it, and it was.
How did you feel when you saw him come out with the cane?
When I seen him walk forward with it, I was like, okay, he's gonna use a cane against me, and I was like, damn, okay. And then when he did it and did, my move against me, and I was like, damn, okay. Yeah, you did good on that one. I didn't expect that at all.
Damn.
Crazy.
Dicks.
And I want to say too, this was a treat for like me and like Tommy coming from the Bay Area, from learning who we learned from, to dance in front of like all the LA OGs and stuff. Like that was a treat for us because I have a lot of LA influence in my dance when I dance. But being around them and just talking to them and dancing in front of them, that was like it was like an honor for us. Yeah, so he did my move and then yeah, he got me.
no.
It's okay. I still give him stuff till this day about it.
Let's stop.
Yo, Cesar.
Let's stop it over here for a minute. I want to ask you guys a question about this because I feel this is really important because, and I'll answer the question whoever says Cesar. But now remember, you guys had a popper in your crew. Each crew had a popper, right? And a lot of the crews nowadays don't have that, right? How do you guys feel about that? You know, I just want to just see what your thoughts were on, you know, because back then we always had a popper in our crew as well, even Air
Yeah,
Force. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Even
I,
in the
I, I
80s, we
definitely,
always had a popper.
yeah, I definitely wanted to touch on that. I still explain to the young guys on my crew today. We still have, you know, poppers and with b-boys in our crew, but it was just something that kind of went hand in hand. It was like nothing separated. Like if you knew your crew was going to go to battle, you better be there. Because if the other crew had a popper, they would still go out. Like, you know what I mean? So it was, I think it's something missing in today's scene in a sense. Like it would be dope for a crew to have a popper to represent them along with them. You know what I mean? Because it comes from a 90s. It's like our legacy in a sense. You know what I mean? It was just, you know, Stalemans had, you know, their popper. We had our popper, which is me, I guess. But it's something that I think it's missing, and it should come back actually.
Okay. Anybody else want to comment?
I could build. I'd love to build on that, man, because you know, this is how we were brought up. You know, in the 90s. I feel like a lot of the dances now, as far as popping, locking, breaking, you know, the street dances are kind of being segregated in a way, like to where they have their own events, right? Rather than opposed to when we were doing it, like at these events, we all came together. We all danced in the same ciphers. It wasn't like, yo, poppers go to this room, breakers go to that room, you know, oh, this is only a b-boy battle, it's just for b-boys. No, I mean, you could see in this battle, it's like Politix didn't know when he was supposed to go out. He just felt it and was like, nah, I'm gonna start popping now. And he just made his way in there. That's what it was. And then the DJ was like, oh shit, I gotta change up the music, and doing everything on the fly. You know what I mean? Like switching up the vibe and keeping control of the battle and staying in the battle, right? As a DJ. And so he did a good job on catching that quick and switching the music up, right? So it was all like freestyle, right? That's all. That's what it was. And a lot that's going on right now, it's amazing, it's dope, but a lot of it isn't freestyle and organic to me like it was. But you know, there's evolution for sure. I just wish that some of the principles from the 90s would be respected in today's era as well.
I think that I agree. I think that but what you guys have to understand is that the custodians of the culture, the custodians of the scene, that's why we are where we are. Specifically, you know, Asia One, when she started doing events, and just people started separating everybody, capitalizing off of the kids, figuring out a way to put, you know, to separate it, and it just kind of evolved that way to where it became more of a sport than an art form, for whatever reason. I guess it made it easier to make money, but this energy in this room was very special, and but that doesn't mean that it can't happen again. The kids, one of the reasons why I got back into like really getting involved was because I wanted people like you guys to feel what I felt when I was doing it. And hearing you guys talk about how this made you feel, I feel really blessed to hear that, because that's all I ever wanted. I wanted you guys to always be accepted, never to be, you know, kind of pushed to the side, for you guys to get your chance and not be told that you're not a real b-boy, or you're not a real this or real that. That's why I was always adamant about fighting for that. And I see now that it was everything I went through, it was worth it.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, guys, because you know what? I mean, for me, one of the reasons I brought Radiotron is because I wanted to just unify everything, bring all the elements to one roof. That's why you had popping, locking, MC, DJing, and the walls were full of graffiti. You know what I'm saying? And also beatboxing. So it's very, very important and then bring to the forefront the b-boy aspect that we was in the background. You know what I'm saying? So because at this point in time, rap was it, and we had different type of music, but to bring all the elements under one roof, and it was like it was a lot of work, you know. And I gotta thank a few people, because like I said, I didn't do it by myself. It was a group of people that really had the energy to do it. So bringing all the elements under one roof, and you just, I don't know, it was a big circle at the same time for me, which is, it felt like it was right, like Crumbs said, right? I think you need to have a popper regardless if that's going to represent your crew, regardless, even if you don't go out. But I think it'd be great to always have a popper. So that's why I did this. That's why I brought all the elements under one roof, So does anybody else want to comment, or we can go ahead and continue playing the video?
I want to just build on the popper and the crew thing real quick. I feel like the reason why it's kind of being segregated is because a lot of the new generation who came into the scene, they not really hip to the B-boy tracks, so they got quite picky and want to pop to what they think is popping music. Then the B-boys come in and they're like, yo, play something that's hype. You see what I'm saying? So I think because of that, and the DJs don't know how to play those records that are in between, something that you could pop to and make the B-boys go off at the same time.
Right.
So I think it also has to deal with the DJs as well. The DJs don't have that experience and able to read a crowd, see what's happening out with the energy with the people dancing, then you're gonna have that separation,
When you have the funk room, when you dedicate something to a funk room, and even if you're a so-called b-boy, you feel like, oh well, I can't dance to funk. When reality is that that's what we dance to. We dance to music. You absorb whatever frequency is being put out there, and you match it. If you want to dance, if you're a dancer, then you match the frequency, and you vibe off of it, and you roll with that. That's how you break free, or you dance free, and so anyway, popping has always been a part of LA Breakers. Even though it said LA Breakers, we always had LA Breaker poppers, and it was always, it would be fire, man, when you got your poppers that have been practicing so hard, and they just can't wait for their opportunity, and then when it happens, they'd be like, ooh, shit, I'm about to go, and everybody that's in the crew is really happy for them because they get their moment. And then if the other crew doesn't match it, then whether or not it's a battle for whether or not it's a battle for like at an event, or if it's just a battle at a club, if they ain't got their popper, you're tripping. So
and this is a great example, Fresh. This is a great example because here's Politix, right? Here's like they're going, they're actually battling. It add to the battle. It never, it switched so smooth, but it was like the energy was still there. You know what I'm saying?
Real,
and,
baby. That was real.
And thanks to the DJ, because it was able to kept the music, understanding what popping music is, or play that middle section that Hazze was talking about. And I think, in my opinion, as well, is that once each element grows so far, it becomes too big. Now it run on its own. You know what I'm saying? But it's like graffiti. Graffiti is a huge word, right? And you have hip hop is a huge word. So it's really big. It becomes bigger than ourselves. And even, it becomes just too huge, But anyway, so let's continue with the battle. We're almost done. And let's go ahead and hit it, DJ. The Mexican.
I haven't caught the ghost on this one.
Yeah, man. I think
you did.
Crumbs, you're absolutely right. This round here is so fresh. So fresh.
What is it about that song though?
It's energy, man. It's just the energy of that song. And keep in mind, this is probably the first time the Mexicans is being played.
And the fact you kept going too, you just kept going.
Yeah, man, Ivan's energy is just out of this world. And
Get out my way, Ivan.
He comes
Wicket,
Wicket, get out my way.
Everybody, man, what's wrong with you?
Man, Wicket was mad that day.
Oh,
Slipping
man.
on Ivan's sweat.
Woo! Look at that
double,
double Halo, back to Halo.
Triple Halo?
Oh,
Triple
man,
Halo.
that's a double Halo.
Nutcracker
Back to
Halo.
Halo, one hand. That was a
This is our
great
boy
response.
Gabe.
Wicket.
A lot of
You
people
guys
don't
don't
remember
see
him.
That's Gabe.
That's a double. Oh, that might have been a triple too. Wasn't as clean as
That was
Wicks,
a
but
double. That was, yeah, man. That's,
Was that Dave?
that was
no,
Gabe
that's
Day.
Gabe. No,
Oh.
Gabe. That was another one of our power heads. He kind of stopped like a year after this.
Whoa.
Oh Lord.
Whoa.
The best
The
one
MC
right
had
there,
to just
boy.
flat.
Look at David Guzman on the ground.
I know the whole thing's supposed to be doing that.
I want to see Super Dave's last round.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we're kind of almost running out of time, but trying to make
AC.
it, you know, I do have a battle. If you guys want to see, I just uploaded the whole half-an-hour battle as well. You know, it's on the Little Caesar rerun on YouTube. I haven't uploaded this one yet, but this is basically straight from the original footage that I just did, and yeah. So let's anybody want to comment on that last round, on the last two rounds, or the last?
Yo, who was that holding was that Little Lewis holding the trophy at the end?
Yeah, that's Little Lewis from Air Force Crew.
Lewis.
That's right. Yes, that was Little Lewis. Anybody want to comment on that last round or the last two rounds?
I personally just thought that they were crazy. Ivan's round, like I said, he just kept going, but it had to do with the music. It almost felt like the right part of the Mexicans was playing, and he just kept going, and then the crowd erupting, going crazy. And then I think on Jazzy J's side, when he came out, he just went for gang, but he started going for the Superman to no hand head spin, and then he did the well, he called, they were no hand 90s at the time, the end of it, after he did like a full hop completely from a 90.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just crazy. I just remember that. I just remember you can see me in the video jumping around like a little kid.
Tix, he even did the Joker laugh in his top rock. Who does that?
Yeah.
Hey, I will say that when Wicket did the Halo holding his nuts, I lost my mind, because that was like something that, you know, Cesar, remember back in the day, like if you knew you were going to battle somebody, you remember Ishmael from Wild Style?
Yes, of course.
So,
Ishmael, Bboy Ishmael, dope.
This was a guy that literally called my mom and told her that he was going to serve me. I was like, what? What? Anyway, he would have me
serve you some food or what? Some food.
I would practice.
Mom was like, "What is he bringing?"
I would practice so hard for this dude, and that's really how criticals came up, because I was scared shitless of this dude, and I had a nightmare and a dream, and in my dream I was practicing and freaking flipped in my turtles. I was like, "Oh shit!" And I woke up and I was like, "Guys, grab my leg." But anyway,
That's awesome. So that's how the critical was created?
Yeah, straight up.
Wow.
And I named it, and since the crew helped me, I already had fresh flex. So since the crew helped me make up the move, I said, well, I'm gonna call it after the crew, which our crew, chapter 1 of LA Breakers, don't remember, the chapter 1 was Critical Mass Rockers.
Wow.
So I did criticals. But
Epic.
I used to also practice one-handed halos, and I had those down. So when I saw him do that, I was like, check, that's points. I gave him hella points for that shit.
Well, you know, Fresh, I saw you do these one-handed halos in San Francisco. I wasn't at the party, but the video, you Nonstop, Cesar, everyone was there,
Yeah, we were there,
I saw you do the critical there, and I saw you do the halos, the one-handed halos. So, yeah.
Damn.
Inspired from you, bro.
That's dope, man. That was really fun, dude. Those were fun times.
Yeah, man. Those are now Fresh. At this time, the battle just finished, right?
Right.
It just finished. Was there any doubt in your mind who won? Were you saying, is this a draw? The style element got it, or was it who did you give it to?
I gave it to Style Elements, and I think it
Okay,
came
and
down.
then
I
and then
think
you want to
honestly,
say
it came down to
why?
me.
Why did you give it to Style Elements?
First of all, I didn't give it; they earned it. But the point
Word
was,
up.
Ivan. Ivan was the game changer in that battle, and the routine also helped them out a lot. Um, the I think that when I remember going down to my sheet because we had a sheet, and on the sheet you had to. One of the big things for me is like in a battle, I always said it's like a sandwich, right? You lay your bread, so that's when you come out and you know your up rock or whatever it is, your introduction, how you come to the floor, and then the meat of your work, you know, and then a lot of people get to the meat, but they don't finish with another piece of bread. So you feel me? So you got your bread, and then you don't finish, right? So and you put the bread on top. So there was more situations where we didn't get the finishes from Renegades. Um, and we also didn't have finishes from Style Elements. But that routine was an excellent finish. And then Ivan had an excellent finish. So there was just more finishes on the other side. So I had to go with Style Elements. And so that's kind of how it happened. And it really came down to me. That's funny that I'm the only dude here, but it came down to me then. And I knew that day that Style Elements was about to really like be able to catapult off of it. And I was thinking, damn, it's a good thing Ivan went with Style Elements instead of Renegades, because Renegades probably it would have been a whole nother story. So I know there's a background on that. I know there's a background on that, and you guys can have another show on that one. But, a whole nother show,
Yeah.
and you might find the trophy.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So Crumbs, thank you, Fred. So Crumbs, first and foremost, did Ivan was practicing with you guys? Did he train all this time with you guys? Was he part of Style Elements?
That's got to be another show, guys. Don't tell him.
You know what I mean? That's like I know, but
I'll keep it
in less than 30 seconds. You can say you can say much, right?
Yeah, I'll keep it as short as I can. Ivan and Remind are co-founders of the name Style Elements, and our history goes back way a couple years before this battle. Like I was breaking with Ivan since 1993. We're both from the same town, Modesto, California. We have a lot of history together. Of course, he was on another level. I was working my way up. You know, even on this battle, I wasn't even where I could be. You know what I'm saying? Like I was barely scratching the surface, in my opinion. He was already there. Remind was already pretty much there. But he's always been a nomad. You know what I'm saying? He's always been a one-man crew, but he'll come back. He used to come back and go, come back and go. And, you know, and we always accepted him back as his brother, you know, for all those years, and didn't really trip on him leaving and coming back, if that makes sense, right? Because he's always been a one-man crew at the same time. So he had his own personal journey, but he did want to be a part of us as well. You know what I mean? And Ivan is a big part of the beginning of Style Elements, and he belonged with us at that battle.
Got it. And Renegades, Wicket, how did you feel about that when you saw Ivan there?
No comment.
Take the fifth. I'll take the fifth. Okay, Politix.
Yeah.
Same question.
How did it feel? It was surprising, I guess you could say. It was more because we faced Ivan up here in the Bay Area quite a bit at some of the other competitions, but just seeing him around and already knowing his energy and how he got down, I think maybe a big part, you know, he wanted to be a part of that battle between us and Style Elements, you know, like I said, he's a part of them, but you know, it's just kind of something that happened, but it was crazy seeing him on the other side right there and just blowing it up, man. It's crazy.
Now, do you guys remember that I sent you guys some information regarding like you guys, you know, do you remember the rules and the guidelines of that battle, Wicket? Remember, like, I think I made a sheet saying, hey, you know what, you're supposed to have between you know, like for instance, you know, in the routine 5 and 7 minutes, because there was also a routine that we didn't even talk about it. Probably will be in a whole different conversation. But you know, the dress code, because if you notice, you know, Style Elements, Renegades, they will all have their own codes, right? The way you guys were dressing, right? Nowadays it's not that way, right? So do you guys remember me giving you a set of rules and guidelines?
Honestly, no, I don't remember. I mean,
who followed them anyways, right?
yeah, we didn't. All we worried about was just we just worried about making sure we were ready, coming prepared, making sure that everybody was sharp, and that was it. You know, so I'm pretty sure you did give it to us, but
maybe Crumbs has
Cesar,
it.
Hey Cesar, I have one question. The showcase, did that count for as far as the overall winner, or that was just something just a showcase?
Yeah, it was actually, you guys were actually was being judged on the showcase to say who had a better showcase, because you know, basically that what was making you guys was to making you guys a better crew, a tighter crew. So you guys were also being judged on the showcase.
Okay.
But mainly it was really the battle.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was really mainly on the battle.
Word.
I got a question. For Renegades, like, cause I know what we had to do to get to that battle, right? People may not know, but we had like a couple battles we had to win to even earn that spot to battle versus the Renegades at that battle, right? So we had won one in 95, and then we came back again late 95 and battled X-Men, and we beat them, and that's how we earned to get to Renegades. So my question is, I remember the Renegades versus Freestyle, but was there any other battles you guys did besides that, or was that like the battle for the championship, like the first one?
well, we did 2 battles against Freestyle. Right? Yeah, right, Paul? I mean,
it was 2.
We did 2 battles, I believe.
Yes,
I think Cesar, is that?
Yes. I believe you guys did 2 battles. You guys did 2 battles that came to the main battle, because they did a showcase. Renegades did a showcase as well to qualify them, basically to qualify them. Then they come back and did 2 battles.
Nice.
But I also remember, yeah. So basically, those were like the kind of like the prelims for you guys, Star Elements. So Star Elements were the prelims to get to the Renegades. You guys had to battle and earn yourself, you know, to the finals.
Well, you know, the interesting thing was because I was a judge, I made sure LA Breakers didn't enter the battles, because we were, I just felt like it wouldn't be fair for a person who's like an elder and then their younger people are breaking to be a judge. So I think when I look back on it and look at how things have transpired since then, that's kind of been kind of the status where, you know, people know each other in the battles. I'm like, damn. Not that they would have been able to compete with you guys, but not that they wouldn't. Because at that time, like, it was raw, man. Y'all kids was like so freaking fire, dude. Like, to witness all of that, like to see the evolution of Jayrawk, like Jayrawk would bring things to the table that I think people underestimated him because he was kind of thin and kind of out there. You kind of look and be like, all right,
lanky,
then he go and bust some shit.
Yeah, I had to work with what God gave me, you know.
And then
I didn't have the prototype Bboy body, so I had to work with what I got.
No, you call him the camel, for sure.
No, actually, no. Freeze really would always talk about him because he was like, you know, because he was thin. He was like, he's gonna have to be able to, you know, create in a different way because he's longer. His legs are longer. And then when you were able to like reach through and grab through, I remember he specifically would say, "Man, that dude is practicing really hard to be able to pull that shit off."
Yeah,
and
because
then,
because try to keep up with everybody during the times, it was like difficult for me. Like, wanted to quit. It's like, there's no way I'm going to be a little Cesar. I'm not going to be a Wicket. You know, it's just like, what can you do? Work harder. You have to work twice as hard just to even look half of what they look. So yeah, appreciate it though.
Right.
Yeah, man, that was dope.
And then
So
seeing
listen,
Wicket. Oh, you keep going, man. I mean, I feel like interviewing him myself.
I have two more
him in so
questions.
long.
We're gonna wrap it up because we're pretty much almost at the end of the hour. But I got two more questions, and whoever wants to answer. The last one of the questions is, how does this battle impact your life? How does this battle have impact your life in a personal level? Renegades, Star Elements.
Go ahead, Wick.
Honestly, the Radiotron battle has become a huge part of my career. If it wasn't for the Radiotron battle against Style Elements, I don't know if I would be Bboy Wicket from today, you know, because everywhere I go, no matter how old, how young, everyone always says, yo, you're Wicket from Radiotron, the checkered floor against Style Elements. Every time I meet somebody, that's the first thing they say. And, you know, I've been breaking since 1993. So that's the first thing people tell me when I first meet them. So, I mean, Radiotron has impacted my life hugely because after this battle, it just shot our names into space. Like, we became somebody that, it was just, I don't know, we just felt like something magical just happened, even though we lost. Yeah. We thought that, I felt like that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We lost, I was just like, I guess I'm gonna go back to school. But after Radiotron, I started getting phone calls. I started getting offers to go judge, to do other competitions, to, you know, so Radiotron was a huge, I mean, Radiotron basically made my career as a B-boy.
Crumbs?
Yeah, Wicket hit the nail on the head with, you know, catapulting careers, because it damn sure did the same thing for me, you know, especially in Hollywood. I ended up moving to LA maybe 3 years after that. And me and Wicket together, we did so much, you know. I think we probably started a huge resurgence in Hollywood with breaking, with being like me, Wicket, Flowmaster, Remind, yourself, Cesar, in the Gap commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was around the same time. So we did a lot of big things in the industry. And but ultimately, I think that you know, I got to give you so much credit and respect for, you know, giving us a platform as teenagers for something to work towards and look forward to and build towards. And it taught us as young teenagers work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to work super hard to get the results that we wanted, you know, and win or lose, we went there and put it all on the line, right? And that's what life is about. So it taught us that at an early age. And, you know, and it also helped us build confidence moving forward. You know, that's why we had the careers we had after Radiotron. So thank you for that, Cesar.
Thank you, Crumbs, and also thank you, Wicket. Jayrawk?
Pretty much what these guys are saying. You know, like you said, the hard work, you know, wasn't always good at a lot of stuff. You always wanted to just kind of give up and quit. But, you know, you gave us opportunity to show ourselves, and, you know, all the hard work we paid off, just to get that little ounce of like respect and fame and just like that ghetto celebrity kind of status. Like, you know, we wanted to be like you, you know what I'm saying? But the whole time, like what Wicket was saying, we became like talked about, like I said, he said people bring it up to this day. Us battling Renegades our whole career in the Bay Area, we were trying to battle for supremacy of like the Bay Area, but then we took it to Radiotron. Now the whole world seeing what we've been doing for the last, you know, 4 or 5 years. And then it just became global. And, you know, we helped out a lot of people, I would assume, because they always talk about it, you know, what it means, what that video means to them, what that battle means to them. And yeah, so it's always gonna be part of my life. And, you know, I thank you for it again. Thank you everybody that's been a part of it. Like, I'm still here, man, still here.
Awesome, man, awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. Politix?
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you also for the platform that you gave us, and help do great things for both our crews. And something I did want to mention too is like this battle happened 20 something years ago, and like we still, well, not now, but previously we'd see each other at events, or there's a mutual respect between Renegades and Style Elements now. Like I know Tommy Boy was my rival. He's like pretty much like my brother now. So it's like over this long period of time, we created something that was, went worldwide, and like you said, people talked about to this day. But for us, it was something special, and it's something we could always carry with us. But it's something that we kind of became friends over, I guess you could say. Because I see Jayrawk and stuff, we'll chop it up, and see Donnie every once in a while. It's no animosity because we lost and they won, or they built some great things, and so did we from there.
Awesome. Hazze?
Yeah, I like to build on what Tix said. I mean, I have so many great memories from the actual event, and Style Elements, some of them being like my little brothers, I was so proud of them, and also so proud of Renegades, to see like everybody go on and do great things. And Cesar can tell you guys, like when we would have our Air Force meetings and we would talk about Radiotron, we would talk about like, the different things we're going to have at the event that's going to be great for the future. We wanted to have the 7 elements. We wanted people to come and see people from the old school and people from the new school, and everybody all in one room, breakers, poppers, lockers, everyone, churching together. So the thing I love about it all is to build on what Politix says, is that like all of us become like good friends, good family and stuff. We travel around the world, and there's Wicket or there's Crumbs, and I remember seeing Crumbs at UK Bboy championships when Style Elements was there about, and I'm just like, yo, this is dope. I remember these guys coming to my house, getting down all hype. We used to sit at the house and watch the Renegades videos, the secret videos that I used to have. So yeah, like it means a lot to me, and I'm just proud to be a part of my crew, and a part of Radiotron, and a part of everyone's. I feel like I'm a part of everyone's success.
That's awesome, man. That is so
You
awesome.
are, bro.
Yeah.
You are
Yes,
so
sir.
awesome. Yes, you are.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, thank you, Hazze. We're gonna just wrap it up. Fresh, any last words?
Just good to see you guys. Proud of all of you. Everybody's growing up to become very, positive men, I can see. Starting with you, Cesar.
Thank you.
And the rest of you guys. I mean, like I said before, I've known Cesar for a very long time. It's just, I didn't, after this event, it didn't really change. I didn't travel or anything from it or anything like that outside of the States. At the same time, it was just, like I remember there was an event. What was that event? Style Elements went to, you guys wore yellow, I think.
UK, it was the UK Bboy Championships.
Battle of the Year?
Yeah.
Oh, Battle of the Year. Yeah.
Yeah, Battle of the Year.
97.
I remember because at the time I ran something called Bboy.com. And so through Bboy.com, we promoted
Bboy.com.
Bboy.
Yeah.
We promoted Radiotron. We promoted everybody that we could. And the main goal there was to be sure that everybody had an opportunity to speak. Everybody had an opportunity to show their crew. And we had a crew list thing, and I remember both these crews being on that list. And that was like my main focus from there, was just being sure that every crew all over the world had an opportunity to be heard, be seen, and Radiotron gave that opportunity. I think that it would be amazing because if you look at the events now, they're sporting events, but this was a battle. This was breaking. You saw people, like Crumbs said earlier, the energy in the room made the floor sweat. You know what I mean? These are things that someone has to feel again, you know, and if it's, you know, oh, I'm sorry, if it's a house party or whatever.
Yeah, we got it.
You know. But anyway, y'all go on and do your thing.
Thank you, Fresh. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Well, guys, first and foremost, I just want to thank all of you for taking the time to really, all of us, to come together under one roof and express our feelings, our thoughts. You know, for me, it's an honor to see and get to meet you guys personally as well. And I want to thank God first and foremost for giving me the ability to do, you know, on my early 20s, this amazing event, and gave me the energy, man. And all my props go to my Father in heaven. He's the one who gets all the credit, you know. So also I want to thank my wife, because as you guys don't know, my wife was actually there with me in front. You know, you might have probably know her or not, but my wife, Norma Umana, has always been there with me since day one. We're still together 30 years now. And also David Guzman, Captain Freeze, from being the host, and everyone who's been, you know, participated, you know what I mean, in this event. Thank you, Wicket, because of you as well. This was, you know, look what happened, right? We just had an amazing conversation. Somebody else hit me up saying, hey, why don't we do it again? Why don't we do this? And in another platform, I was like, okay, well, you know, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I just want to thank also Ed, you know, from Ground Zero, who's helping us with this amazing platform and made all this thing possible. 24 years in the making, guys. You know, I started in 94 was the first Radiotron, and you know, this battle happened in 96, 24 years ago. Imagine, wow, 24 years ago. I'm glad that we're well men now. We can really we're still alive, and it's all about making a difference, man. I just, like I said, I want to thank God and you know, also want to thank Victor. Victor is, maybe you might not know him. Victor was my other partner, and with the Radiotron, I want to thank him, Victor Orozco, and first and foremost, every one of you. And until next time, God bless all of you guys.
Yeah, Radiotron, baby.
Peace out, y'all. Thank you.
Peace. Thank you.
Peace.
Look at that.
Wow.
Who's got the trophy?
Where's the trophy? Can we get that one?
Renegades.
Wait, can we get that?
Hey, I need this picture right here. I need this picture.
What picture?
Goof
Crumbs.
Troop, they're